All right, so it's Marketing Food Online. So in this video, I'm actually getting ready to cover a question that I get from a lot of bakers and people who actually either own a retail bakery or they're looking to start selling baked goods online. And the question I get is, how do I sell baked goods online? And what are the best ways to sell baked goods online? So as you may or may not know, I'm of course a baker and candy maker. I've been doing this online for 12 years. I've operated an Italian bakery retail store with my wife, and we now operate 6 e-commerce businesses selling baked goods. And I'm gonna get into how we do it and how you can actually get it done and get started selling your baked goods online right now. All right, so it is Damien and again, as I mentioned back in the introduction, we're gonna cover in this video here in my office, we are gonna get into some really good questions about how to sell baked goods online and get a bakery up and running on e-commerce, which is a great idea and it's a great platform, obviously, to extend your business, to increase your revenue. And if you've already got a retail bakery and you're trying to figure out how do I create an e-commerce business, then these 10 tips will help you get started. And of course, if you need any additional help, I do offer consulting. You can check out all those links for that down below. I can speak with you one-on-one. We have 1-hour consults, and we even have a half-hour consult available as well. So I am Damien Roberti. I am an e-commerce business owner. I have been selling baked goods actually and candies and snacks for 12 plus years now with my wife. We have 6 e-commerce businesses. We are on Amazon, eBay, Etsy, and of course, thebrittlebox.com, which is our company website. We also do a lot of customized orders. We do corporate events and all that good stuff. But I've got over 12 years experience doing this, everything from starting the business to even packing and shipping the products, so I can help you get up and running. So let's get into these 10 ways to actually get your e-bakery, if you will, up and running. So number one, you want to figure out exactly where are you going to start. Now, like a lot of people who subscribe to our channel are home-based businesses or they're looking to start from home. Yes, you can have a bakery from home, but you can't actually ship a product through the cottage food laws. You can't ship it interstate or over state lines. That is technically illegal. That is not allowed under that. So if you want to operate and start small, I'll incorporate in the next 10 things I tell you. I'm going to explain how you can actually use and leverage a commercial kitchen to actually fill orders online and operate a business that way. Now, every city and county, of course, and even the cottage food laws and of course the commercial kitchens themselves all have different regulations and such. I'm not going to cover specifics about every city and county because I don't know every city and county's laws, but my recommendation for you to do is to check out your specific city, see what is required for zoning purposes, permits or licenses, and those things. Obviously, you're going to get into business licenses, what you need for that, and food business insurance. That's one aspect of it. But you definitely want to find out specifically what is allowed within the area that you're living in specifically, because that varies greatly. But I do know for a fact that you cannot ship baked goods over interstate lines as far as online businesses are concerned. So that is a no-no. But you can definitely tap into a commercial kitchen, okay? So where are you starting? Number one is where you're starting. If you have a commercial space or you can actually get into a commercial kitchen, that is a huge plus. Now, Damien, how do I fulfill orders in a commercial kitchen if I go and bake the products? How do I do the logistics? How do I ship it? So here's how it could work. Commercial kitchens operate independently, of course, of themselves. They have their own rules and regulations, but there are some that will actually allow you to produce a product, package it, of course, seal it up and get it ready for market, and actually handle the logistical end of it, which would be the aspects of shipping it to the customer, getting it into their hands. You have to check with your commercial kitchen and, of course, what type of business license it would be specifically in your city to allow you to handle e-commerce business. It's different type of licensing compared to a brick and mortar. When I ran and operated our own Italian bakery, we had different types of licenses and different everything actually in regards to how that business operated compared to what we did online. So the idea is to rent a commercial kitchen. Okay, got that down. Ask them if you can do the logistics. Can I ship products each week once a day? If you designate a specific day of the week in order to fulfill the orders, which is what I highly recommend you do in order to make this e-commerce bakery business work, you need to create, of course, and we'll dive into more of this in the list, you need to have your website up and running, but you need to distinguish the day in which you'll actually make the product. You can accumulate orders for several days and then say, look, every Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to bake every item and I'm going to fill those orders and ship the product out. Now, well, I would recommend you also do it at the beginning of the week. If you fulfill baked good orders that you make fresh and you don't have preservatives in them, obviously, They won't last very long, so the best way to do it is to ship on a Monday or Tuesday and use a 2-day priority mail. Get it to them within a couple of days and you'll be perfectly fine. This is a method that we've used for 12 years and it's worked out 99% of the time perfect, okay? So figure out what day of the week you can fulfill all of the accumulation of orders, because you don't want to go renting a commercial kitchen every single day or every other day and spending money to fill just a couple of orders. You won't make money, you'll end up losing money, okay? But if you can work it with the commercial kitchen you find and say, look, I have one designated day, I'm going to be in here to fill orders, I've got an e-commerce business, how does that work with your commercial kitchen? Ask them specifically, because they can write their own rules and policies in the commercial kitchens. Now, number 2, the next thing you need to make sure you have is, of course, a business license. Make sure you're a legitimate business. Even if you're selling baked goods online, it's still considered a business, and you need to make sure you follow all of the state guidelines in regards to doing that. So, business license, you need to have a business insurance policy, of course, for the food you have, a food business policy as well, which covers anybody getting sick or ill. You have to have that. Even if you use a commercial kitchen, their policy normally and traditionally does not cover what happens if somebody consumes your product that you make in their kitchen. Their policies are normally for people who are using the kitchen. That doesn't cover necessarily the products you're making and shipping. So be sure that you understand that and make sure that you've got a insurance policy specifically set up for that. Number 4, you want to make sure you create a menu of items, obviously. Stick to items that you bake very well, that you may have unique twists on it. If your recipe is something that's like chocolate chip cookies, but you have a little variation of it, try to think of several ways to add more than just one item. On your menu that you need to create and put on your website, you need to make sure you have more than just one particular cookie, if it's that, or one particular cake or cupcake, whatever the baked good might be that you're making. You want to make sure that you have more than one. I highly recommend to all the clients I do consults with that you start between 3 and 5. 3 and 5 items gets a website up and running. You can create a ton of different bundles and you can create a lot of different ways that you can sell 3 to 5 different items to start, okay? Because if you know how to bake a chocolate chip cookie, there's a good chance you know how to bake bundt cakes. And there's a good chance that you know how to bake variations of muffins and even protein cookies. You can bake a variety of just traditional cookies in general. But you need to make sure that you've got a menu that's going to be enticing for people to look at and buy your products. If you start a store with chocolate chip cookies, there's a good likelihood you're not going to do very well with it, okay? So variety and creating a menu is important. Next up, build your website. Now, do not rely solely upon a website when you want to figure out how I can sell baked goods online. You're like, well, I'll just open a website up and I'll be up and running. Not going to work. Nobody's going to know your website. It's not going to get on Google. You will be nowhere, anywhere. Nobody will find you, okay? Have a store on eBay, create a small little shop on Etsy, and then in between all that, work in your own website. So you'll have 3 different places to be found. But what's most important about the other 2, Etsy and eBay, is the fact that you are going to be in front of millions of customers automatically. And there are baked goods being sold left and right on Etsy and eBay. Okay, so there's a lot of exposure for those types of products that you don't have to get traffic directed to your website, because it will be a huge challenge, and that's a whole nother video, in getting traffic to your website. But not only traffic, but traffic that actually converts and gets people to buy your product. Everybody jumps up and down about getting traffic and getting likes and thumbs up. All that stuff is nonsense. You need to get people to buy your product, otherwise you're not in business, period, okay? Number 6 is packaging. You want to make sure that you have a really good packaging for the particular product that you're making. So you need to do a little research and find out what is a good package for the type of product I make. Packaging cookies, I can tell you from experience, is different than shipping a bundt cake. Shipping muffins is totally different than shipping brownies or fudge. So everything has its own packaging. Now, with that being said, once you find the packaging for the product, then you need to find the types of packaging for the shipping. That brings me to number 7. You need to understand the shipping aspects of this business. It's ultra important, because if you don't ship them nice, if you've got a beautiful package and they're all look beautiful and great, have a nice little lovely label and all that stuff, that means nothing if it arrives smushed and gushed and smashed and all just totally looking horrible. Customers will not buy back from you again, okay? I learned from this trial and error about the first year and a half into it. I had to ship some stuff, got some feedback and all that, and then I figured out what would be the best way to ship what we have. We have over 300 different items. Some items, of course, are chocolate pretzels and Oreos, but of course, what you need to do is find out what works best for your product, not just the packaging for the product itself, but how are you going to put it into the box? And if it doesn't require ice during hot summer times. Like a lot of our chocolate items, we have to add additional ice packs. A lot of our cookies don't necessarily need that, but if you do chocolate chip cookies, you do something that can melt, you may also need to add ice packs to your cookies, believe it or not, okay? So think about the shipping aspects of it, and not just the shipping boxes, but also the pricing. Do you even know how much to charge a customer to ship your cookies? So you're making money, not losing money. Do you know about bundling your products so you have a higher price point for a transaction? And then you can give them free shipping because you can go ahead and add that shipping on your own end. Now, do you offer free shipping or do you charge? Again, that's going to be dependent upon how you create the listing and what's the price point of the product, and can you absorb the full shipping cost if you give them free shipping, okay? So keep that in mind. Next up, the number 8, you need to figure out your selling price. What is the retail price of your product online? Make sure you take into consideration everything from labels, packaging, your ingredients, the time to make it, and all of that. Now, if you're renting a commercial kitchen and producing a product, you need to also factor that in too. So what is the selling price of your online baked goods when you begin to sell these products online? Because you also have fees. Fees on eBay. When you sell, the transaction itself will have a fee when they process the payments. You're going to have Etsy fees, you're going to have Amazon fees. No matter where you go, you're going to have fees. But do you understand the price points and how much you need to sell every month based on those individual price points in order for you to make up for the fees and make a profit? So keep that in mind as well. Number 9, offer custom orders. Be open to other people, specifically your customers, open to their ideas. If they say, hey, Damien, you make this amazing chocolate chip cookie, but can you make one with white chocolate and blueberries? Okay, yeah, sure, I can do that. I can get white chocolate chips just as I can get dried blueberries and throw them in the same dough and make another cookie. Whatever it is that your customer, of course, within reason, and whatever it is that they request, try your best to accommodate that, because the more that you could stretch yourself out, you may create a listing for a new product that sells like crazy. For us, one of the products that we sold that we never did before, and I can tell you this was a really good story, is toasted coconut. Now, I know that sounds kind of odd, but believe it or not, toasted coconut is pretty hard to find. It's not a lot of people who really sell it, but it was a product that we didn't sell when we first started. So a customer asked me, hey, do you sell toasted coconut? I said, no, I don't, but I'd be happy to figure it out. And about a couple of days later, I created a listing, found a source, and we've been selling toasted coconut now for about 10 years, 11 years. And on Amazon, we get a ton of orders for toasted coconut because of the very fact that it is toasted. It's hard to find. People don't get it. So they'll pay a premium for it. Be open to your customers and ask them, hey, give me some feedback. Is there something that you want me to make? I'll look into it and make it. Now, some things I just can't afford. I can't afford to do all of it. But a lot of the items that we sell now are actually items from our customers, believe it or not. So now the next one up is number 10. Now it's a little bit similar to what I mentioned about shipping earlier. But the one thing you want to know is how to experiment with your shipping process. And what I mean by that is, if you're not very familiar with shipping, put some products in a box, ship it to a family member across the country or someone in a long distance away. Ask them, how did it arrive? Was it broken? Did I put enough packing? Do I need ice? This is a great way to experiment to understand whether or not you need ice packs, whether or not you need a certain type of packaging, whether or not you can ship how many cookies you have in the box that you sent. The more experience you have with the shipping, the better off you'll be as well, because then you're not going to damage a lot of the product that you just worked hard for. If I have a customer in California and we're on the East Coast, which we are, if I ship a product to California and it's like a $50 item and it arrives damaged and it's broke, well, then I have to rather refund them or send them a new product. So now I've got to go back through it. I've got to rebake and remake the product and reship it. Get that down pat. Understand the importance of the shipping if you're going to start selling baked goods online. That's ultra important, okay, no matter what you're doing. So these are 10 super quick and very easy to understand tips, but they're super important as well when you want to start your online business selling baked goods. And if you want to transition your retail bakery to being online, these are definitely ultimate tips for you to get started. So if you have any questions about that, to let us know how I can sell baked goods online, give us some comments down below. If this video was helpful, as always, give us a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys on our next video.